Hey guys, Creative Venus here, and today we are creating something unique. We are creating an application in PowerPoint using only one slide. Yes, if I click on any day of the week, the corresponding project details will start sliding in, and you can see these small animated components here. The indicator will change its color, the rounded rectangle corresponding to the day will start spinning. So yeah, it looks really corporate, beautiful. I hope you will like it. So please subscribe to our channel, join the membership and stay with us. So the very first step is to design a beautiful background here. Now we have to fill a background color here, and for that we will use the fill option and fill this gray color. Then go to insert shapes, insert rounded rectangle, place it at the center, reduce its roundedness, go to line options, select no line and change the color to white. So white color looks good on the gray color, and you can also see that I have placed a color palette at the top, so this color palette will be very useful. Now just duplicate this rounded rectangle and change its color and select both these and align them together, and we will use a merge shapes option, and for that we need a rectangle here. So draw it something like this, and we will subtract the orange shape with the blue shape using the merge shapes option. Now we will change its color to gray, but the gray color should be lighter than the background so that it is easily visible. Now comes the second part. We need to design the components here. Now we will duplicate the slide so that we can design the buttons for the days of the week. And it's always a good idea, if you want to create a nice graphic or something, you can always use a different slide here. And now you can insert this rounded rectangle, make sure the height and width is same, and you can use the size option here and remove its outline and place it at the center. And now we will change the background color because we want to keep this button in white. So let's change its fill to white and go to shadow, increase its roundedness here, and you know how to apply the shadow effects. It's pretty simple, you can try and test. Make sure the shadow looks natural, it shouldn't look too heavy. So you can try these options here: transparency, blurriness and distance. Now go to insert and insert the text box. We want to write the day here. I'm for Monday, and you can use a nice font here. So I'm using Mustard Black because that's a heavy font and it also looks good, and you can download it from Google Fonts. It's a free font you can use. Center align the text, place it at the center, and now go to the first slide and copy the color palette and paste it on the second slide as well, so that we can use the eyedropper tool to fill the same color on the text as well. So we will use different colors for each day of the week. Now you can use the eyedropper tool to fill the color here, and now we need to apply some effect here, and for that we will duplicate this rounded rectangle and remove its shadow effect. And now let's duplicate it further one more time and place it at the center of the first rounded rectangle and change its color to gray. Yes, let's use a different gray color. I think the first one looks fine because it is not visible. Yes, and now we have to shift it down a bit. Now select both these together, use intersect option here Yes, and now place it at the bottom center of the button here. Bring the text to front and the button is created. Now we need the indicator here, the selection indicator. This indicator will be very useful when someone clicks on the button. This will change its color. So the default state will be gray and it will change the color matching the text color upon click. So yeah, so we have changed the color to gray here. Now select all these button items, press Ctrl plus G to group them together and paste the button here. So it's pretty simple, as you can see. Now duplicate the button 5 more times to represent all the days here. Now change the text one by one and also change the color by using the color picker tool and the color palette at the top. Write T here for Tuesday, then W for Wednesday, and keep on changing the colors as well by using the eyedropper tool like this. So I hope till now you have been able to understand, and you can also see that we are using one slide. And if you think this is really nice and this is useful, you can please subscribe to our channel if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, and you can also hit the like button as well. Now insert this line here. So this is just for the design purpose, and slightly shift down these days here. Now change the color to light gray, and we will now insert text box to write a heading here. So let's write schedule. You can write anything you want and change the font to Montserrat. Increase the character spacing, make it bold. Either use the gray color or you can use black as well. So currently I'm using gray, but I think I will change it to black. Let's see how it goes, how it looks in the final setting. Now duplicate this button background here. We will reuse this component and change the color here. Remove its shadow effect. Make sure the height and width is same, but make it small, like 0.4 centimeters. Now slightly zoom in the slide and duplicate this small rounded rectangle like 6 to 7 times. Now select all these rounded rectangles, use the align option to align them to middle, and we want to increase spacing between them, so move the last one to the right. And now again select all these together and go to align, distribute horizontally. Now we need to fill different colors matching the days of the week, like Tuesday is red, Wednesday is yellow. So we will fill the colors by again using the eyedropper tool. So that's how you can use the eyedropper tool here. It's very convenient. So we need 6 of these and we have placed it at the top here, so it looks good. This is just for aesthetic purpose. Now we need to insert a text box here, and let's write days. Change the font to Montserrat. Increase the character spacing. Make it bold. Change the color to gray, and then go to shape format. Rotate it left by 90 degrees. Align the text to center. Go to home and click on the center, and now place the days here. Make sure it is center aligned with the days. Now what we need here, we need some heading here, because this area looks empty and we can fill it with the title of the slide. So it's like project timeline, so you can write project timeline here, and you can do or apply some text styles here. So you can use different font style, size. You can also try to fill different colors, a different color for project, and then for the timeline you can use some other color. So that's how you can try different things, but I'm keeping it simple. My idea is to create a minimalistic design here, so I'm not creating very colorful design here. I'm trying to keep it more of a corporate and minimal look. Now duplicate the buttons here and remove all the items from each of the button here. So manually it will take some time. So go to the selection pane. It consists of all the layers that we have used on this slide deck. It's like the layers that you see on Adobe Photoshop tool. So this is a very helpful panel. You should always use it, the selection panel. This will help you select each component or the layer that you have created. You can also rename these layers by double clicking on it, so that you can mark these layers and identify easily. So now we have removed all the components from these buttons. Now we will send it to back, but before that let's fill the matching colors by using the color picker tool or using the recent colors option. So this option is also very helpful. So now the steps are repetitive here, so I have skipped the color filling part. Send to back, and also send to back this background. So now you can see the rounded rectangles are slightly visible. So this is what we wanted. Remove the shadow effects, ungroup them all, and then apply no shadows. So now you can see our design is almost complete. Now let's add the timelines on the right. So that's the main part here. So we have created this application to support 3 events of the day. So up to 3 events can be added. You can add more, then you have to adjust the spacing here, but currently we are using 3. For that you have to insert this rounded rectangle and write the timeline here. Like for example, you have 3 events for the day. Like the first event starts at the 10 in the morning, the second at 3, or the third at 5. So that's how you can plan the events here. So make sure the height and width is perfect to support the text inside it. It shouldn't go in 2 lines. Make it thin and place it here. Now let's insert a rounded rectangle here. So you can draw it like this. So you have to do some placement here and see how it looks. Remove its outline, fill a gray color, bring this shape to the front so that it is visible, and place it at the center, or you can say the middle, vertically middle of this placeholder. So I'm trying to figure out the best color here. I think white will look good, and apply gray outline here. Slightly increase its size so that we can we can make use of the complete space. Now inside a text box we will write heading and the description. So it is pretty simple. For example, we have written project A here, change the font to Monsterrat again because we are using the Monsterrat font. Now you can duplicate it to write the description. So this is a description placeholder, and write description for the project or the event of the day. So you can write anything you want, make it short and simple so that you can easily understand it, or anyone can understand it rather than writing long lines here. Unbold it, reduce its size, and increase the text box size so that it spreads out perfectly, and change the color to like dark gray close to black. There is some more space left, so I've added few more words here for the dummy text. Make sure you have aligned everything. Focus on alignment. I've changed the color of the outline here. Now select all these items. Press Ctrl+G to group them together. Now duplicate it. Place the second item below it and duplicate it once again. As I have earlier said that we will add 3 items here because we have created this design to support 3 events of the day. And change the timing of the second event of the day, and similarly duplicate it one more time and change the time here as well. So it could be like the closing event of the day. So, and one more thing, I haven't kept it here, but you can also add the lunch timings as well by inserting a small rounded rectangle in between, or you can add breaks or something. Make sure everything is well aligned, and it is highly advisable that you keep open your selection pane on the right. Now you have to ungroup all these buttons here and only group the background, the reflection and the letter. Keep the indicator layer separate, and you can name the button Monday and rename this indicator as Monday INDI, Monday indicator, and apply the same effect on the second button as well. Select these 3 layers, group them together, name the group Tuesday. So this is the Tuesday button. Select the indicator and name it Tuesday INDI. It is very important to rename the components here so that these buttons or these components can be easily selected while animation. So I have skipped the implementations for the rest of the days because the steps are repetitive. So that's how you can do it. So we have renamed the layers. Now we can easily select the buttons by looking at the selection pane. Now what we have to do is we have to rename these project details as well, these 3 events. And for that what we have to do is we have to select these 3 events one by one, and then we will go to the selection pane and rename these items so that once we will start animating these items, there will be no hassle to select this layer or that layer then it will become very easy to select the items during animation. So select this group, change it to M1. So this is the first event for Monday. Change it to M2. This is the second event, and change it to M3. So this is the third event. So these are the 3 items for the Monday. Now collapse these 3 items in the selection pane, and now we will duplicate it. But before that, let's rename some more components in the selection panel so that we can easily manage all the items. Write it schedule. Although these renaming the components are not required for all the other elements other than the one that we will use for the animation. Now select these 3 components, duplicate, and place it on the top of the previous 3 components. Make sure these are well aligned. Yeah, so we have placed these 3 items. Now these are the 3 events for the Tuesday. For that, we have to rename these components. Double click on it, write it T1. This is the first event for the Tuesday. Change it to T2, the second event for the Tuesday, and this one T3, the third event for the Tuesday. And also you have to change the color of the timeline. So we have to change it to red to match with the Tuesday. Similarly, you have to do it for this second event and then for the third event. So now you can do it for all the components like this. So I have skipped that part because the steps are repetitive. Similarly, you have to do it for all the days here. So I have moved to the Saturday, and you can rename it S1, S2 and S3. So that's how you can do it. So now we have these 18 project details, 18 events, 3 for each day, so 6 3s are 18. So you can see in the selection pane these 18 layers, and we will use these 18 layers to animate as per the click of the button. So now let's add animation, and for animation we will use triggers. What are triggers? Triggers are the click of the button. These 6 days will be used as triggers. So the very first logic is select all the project details, these 18 layers, go to exit animation and select disappear. So we have applied the disappear animation on all these 18 layers. Go to animation pane, you can see here the list. So we will apply the trigger here. On click on Monday, these 18 layers will be disappeared. Pretty simple. So no layer will be present here when we click on the Monday. So what should happen? Only 3 layers that are for Monday, M1, M2 and M3 should appear. So select these 3 layers, apply fly in animation, go to effects option, select from left, and now go to animation pane. So we have to apply the trigger on these 3 layers as well on click of Monday. Now select start with previous. So this is the whole series of events that will happen. 18 layers will be disappeared, and only these 3 layers will appear from the left. So increase the duration for these 3 layers, add delays from the effects, apply smooth end, and you can see it looks really nice, and only these 3 layers will appear. So this is the same, so this is the logic that we will apply on all the other days. All the steps are repetitive. You have to follow the same steps. Again, we have selected all the layers. Let's apply the disappear animation. Now this time we will use it for Tuesday on click of Tuesday, and only T1, T2 and T3 the 3 events for the day should appear on click of Tuesday. So let's select T1, T2 and T3. Add animation fly in from left. Go to animation pane, apply trigger. These are the triggers for the Tuesday, but we have to apply trigger on T1, T2 and T3 on click of Tuesday. Now select start with previous, increase the duration for these 3 layers and add delay. So for each layer increase the delay, and then again select these 3 layers. Let's check it first, and you can see the animation is not smooth. So select these 3 layers, right click, go to effects option and increase the smooth end, and now you will see it looks really nice. For Monday it looks fine, for Tuesday again it looks good. So now you have to follow the same steps for all the days. So let's do it for Wednesday as well. Select all the layers, again apply the disappear animation and add a trigger on click of Wednesday. Now we have to go to selection panel again, select W1, W2, W3, add animation fly in from the left. Now again go to the animation pane, apply trigger on click of Wednesday. Select start with previous, increase the duration, add delay at the individual level, increase the delay further for W2, then select W3, further increase the delay. Select these 3 layers, go to effects option, increase the smooth end, and you will see the final result. On Monday it looks good, Tuesday is also fine, and Wednesday is also working fine. So now the steps are repetitive for all the days, so I'll skip that part. And similarly you can do it for all the days, as you can see on your screen. So it's pretty easy and beautiful as well when you look at the animation, and everything is happening on just one slide. So that's the kind of application and that sort of functionality that you can create in PowerPoint. Now we will apply animation on the indicators, and in order to do that, first we have to select all the indicators: Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday and Saturday. So we have selected all the indicators here. Add animation. We want to change the colors on the click. For that we will use this object color animation. Go to effects option, use the default color, that is gray. Let's use this one, 25 or 35% darker. So we will use this gray as a default state for these 6 buttons, and it should be triggered on the click of Monday. So on click of Monday, whatever their default state is, the color should be gray. Now select the first indicator, that is for Monday. Again apply object color animation and change the color to match the text, that is this purple color that we will use on this indicator. Yep. So let's add trigger on click of Monday. Start with previous, and now you can see on click of Monday the project details, slide it in, and you can see that the indicator color also changed. So the steps are same for all the days. Again, select the indicators, go to add animation, object color, fill gray color, the default state on click of Tuesday. So on click of Tuesday, all the indicators will turn gray and only the indicator on the Tuesday button should be in the red color. And for that we will select the color here to be red, apply trigger on click of Tuesday. Start with previous, and now let's see the final output. On click of Tuesday, you can see the color has changed. So the steps are same for all the days. So on click of Tuesday, you can see the gray color of the indicator for the Monday. The color has changed. So that's the logic we have applied here. Let's do it one more time. Select all the indicators, change their default state to gray on click of Wednesday, and only the indicator on the Wednesday button should turn yellow. And for that, select the indicator on the Wednesday button, add animation, object color, change the color to yellow, add the trigger on click of Wednesday. Select start with previous, and now you can test it. Monday is fine, Tuesday is fine, and on Wednesday as well it's working fine. So similarly you can apply this logic on all the remaining buttons, and let's see the output here. It looks really nice and smooth and everything on just one slide. So that's the beauty of it. Now we need to apply animation on these colored rounded rectangles as well, and the logic will be same but the style will be different. For that, select this rounded rectangle, go to animation pane, add animation, spin. So we want to spin it once this button will be clicked. Go to trigger on click of Monday. This button should start spinning. Start with previous and go to options here, select smooth end and add repeat 2 times. It should spin twice. So twice will look good. You can further edit it, like if you want to repeat it 3 times you can do that. So that's how you apply these kinds of trigger animations. Now go to effects option, go to timing, change to single. I think the single will look fine here. So yeah, it's working fine. This is what is required here. Similarly, you can apply the spin animation on all the buttons. Go to trigger on click of Tuesday and start with previous. Go to effects option, select smooth end, press OK, and now on click of Tuesday it will start spinning as well. So it's working fine, and so this is how you can apply this spinning animation all the buttons from top to bottom. So let's test all these buttons here, all the days, and you can see indicators are also working fine. So this is a very beautiful kind of application, and it's not just the project timeline. You can apply it on any slide where you want to showcase multiple steps. So now we have to set up the starting screen. So by starting screen I mean once you will launch the slideshow, so all the project details will be visible. We want it to be plain, and this should only be visible on the click of a button. For that we have to place a rectangle, white rectangle, over the project details so that the project details are not visible. Now what we have to do is we have to apply animation on the disappear animation on the rectangle, and now we have to start it with previous, and let's see, on click of Monday you can see first the project details are appearing, then this rectangle is disappearing. So we want to move it to the top. First we want this rectangle to be disappeared, then the whole chain of events should start. So this should be the first step. First this rectangle should disappear, then the other layers, and then M1, M2 and M3 should start appearing from the left. So you can move it to the top either by dragging it or using these up down buttons. So it should start on click, and now it should work. Yes. So this is how you can do it. Similarly, you have to apply this rectangle effect on all the buttons. The steps are repetitive, so I have only showed it for just Monday. So yeah, this is a beautiful animation. I hope you will like it, and it doesn't take much of your time to create. It looks complex, but it's very easy. So please subscribe to our channel, join the membership, hit like, hit share, and you can download this template from the G Drive link provided in the video description. And we will see you guys in our next video with something more creative.